Hi everybody, this is Joel. During my last Art and About with our friends at Mercury Baroque, I learned about this luthier in Houston. Now, luthier is just a fancy word for describing somebody who makes violins, violas, cellos, and double basses, who has been making all their instruments for Mercury Baroque in the style of this guy that lived in the 1700s. Now, I think that's totally cool, but it made me think, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter and a cop and, later on a lawyer because I was arguing with everybody. I just kept on thinking, what would make him wake up one day and say, hey Dad, I want to make violins for a living? Well, let's find out.
When I was 15 years old, I started as an apprentice at a shop my dad used to go to all the time to get work done. My brother started at that shop first and then went to college, and my dad said, do you want to try my other son? So he said, sure, why not? So at 15 I started learning rehairing and restoring bows.
It's a really rare opportunity to have a chance to work with someone from the beginning about our concept of sound and what we would like these instruments to create, and to kind of be a part of that process from the birth of the instrument all the way until and through its life as part of our organization.
When I make an instrument, it's not just something I'm making to sell, it's something that I really put a lot of energy into. I really enjoy what I do, and honestly, sometimes it's a lot of luck. It's intuitive. It's getting a feel for the material I'm working with and working it properly.
When working with natural materials, there's always an unknown element, so we need a little bit of luck to get things working just right. But in the case of Dorian Barnes, with so many instruments commissioned, I bet the process can be very stressful.
We're going to have a collection of 13, 14, however many instruments. So every one of these is going to be measured by the one before it. And I worry, I have nightmares and worry, what if something I make isn't as good as the one before? Or what if there's something really special about this one? And and I have to see these instruments, and it's going to haunt me. Every little mistake or whatever I'm going to know about on these instruments, and it's going to haunt me for my entire life.
Dorian is copying the instruments of 18th century master luthier Carlo Antonio Testore, who also got into the business through his father, and actually his brother was also a luthier. His violins were known for being a little bit on the rough side, but having excellent tonal qualities. Let's find out more.
I fondly refer to them as the drunken masters because the work was kind of rough and the materials weren't that great. I mean, I think they walked around and went to Strad's wood pile and pulled a piece of wood out that he was rejecting and decided to use that to make a violin out of. So one of the materials that was real common in their instruments is English sycamore. It's considered a lesser quality wood. It does have flame in it that you can see, but it also has this staining and this discoloration, which is why it would have been rejected by the great masters. So I picked English sycamore to copy this particular model, and I actually had 4 pieces that were cut out of one cello back. So all 4 of these pieces, the 2 in the instruments already made and these 2 pieces, all came from the actual same piece of wood. But this is literally, I mean, that's just fresh off the saw. That's a fresh split billet. This is literally where they start from. And of course the scroll just is a block of wood that's cut roughly to shape to get it started, and then as things get working, this is what we'll start turning it into. The rib cage is built from just very thin slices of 2mm wood, and they're bent around a form to get the outline and the shape. And once I get the outline, then I'm able to cut out the top and back to the pattern and start working the top and back plates. Varnish has a huge impact on sound. Varnish can do 3 things. It can make it sound better, it can make it sound worse, or it can make it sound the same. Ultimately, that's the bottom line. Ideally, the violin sounds best with nothing on it, because anything you put on it is going to start dampening the vibrations and it's going to start dampening the sound. But in a sense, I kind of wanted, the rawness, the overtones that kind of gives it a raw edginess. I wanted that toned down, and so I actually got that effect on the varnish. It was nice to see that happen.
If you want to hear Dorian Barnes violins in concert, scribble down on your schedule November 20th. Mercury Baroque will be performing Vivaldi's Montezuma at the Wortham Center. Don't miss it.